In this video, I will be showing you the procedure to apply for a Canada Study Permit. These procedures can also be found on www.canada.ca. Applying for a Canada Study Visa, known as a study permit, involves several steps. Here's a detailed guide to help you through the process. First, obtain a letter of acceptance, or LOA. Before applying for a study permit, you must have an acceptance letter from a designated learning institution, or DLI in Canada. Choose a school. Ensure the institution is on the list of DLIs. Apply to the school. Submit the required documents, such as transcripts, test scores, and application forms, to the school. Receive the LOA. Once accepted, you'll receive a letter of acceptance, which you need for the visa application. Next, check the visa requirements. Understand the requirements for a study permit based on your country of residence. Determine your eligibility. Ensure you meet the basic criteria, such as having a valid passport, proof of acceptance, and proof of financial support. Gather required documents. Common documents include a valid passport or travel document, proof of financial support like bank statements, scholarships or loans, and a letter of explanation, which is optional but can explain why you want to study in Canada and that you understand your responsibilities as a student. You might also need biometrics, which include fingerprints and a photo, and results from an immigration medical examination, or IME, if required. Finally, apply online or on paper. You can apply for a study permit either online through the IRCC website or on paper by submitting your application to a Visa Application Centre, or VAC. Create an account. If applying online, create an account on the IRCC website, fill out the application form, complete the necessary forms like the application for a study permit, IM 1294, and the family information form, IMM 5707. Upload supporting documents, attach scanned copies of all required documents, pay the application fee. The fee for a study permit is typically 150 Canadian dollars. You may also need to pay for biometrics, which cost 85 Canadian dollars. Provide biometrics. Most applicants need to give biometrics, which include fingerprints and a photo. After submitting your application, you'll receive a biometrics instruction letter. This letter will tell you where you need to go to provide your biometrics. You'll need to visit an authorized VAC Application Support Center or other locations specified in the letter to complete this step. Immigration Medical Examination, or IME. If required, you may need to undergo a medical examination by a panel physician approved by the Canadian government. First, you'll need to book an appointment with an approved panel physician. When you attend the examination, bring identification and any medical records required by the physician. The panel physician will then send the results directly to the visa office. Wait for processing. The processing time for a study permit varies by country, so it's important to check the processing times. You can check the status of your application online through your IRCC account. If the visa office requires more information, they will contact you with instructions. Once your application is processed, you'll receive a decision. If approved, you'll receive a port of entry letter of introduction, and if required, a temporary resident visa or an electronic travel authorization. If refused, the refusal letter will explain the reasons. You can reapply after addressing the issues or file an appeal if you believe there was an error. Prepare for arrival in Canada. If approved, prepare for your arrival in Canada. Carry important documents. When you travel to Canada, bring the POE letter of introduction, your passport, LOA, proof of financial support, and any other required document. Meet with the immigration officer. Upon arrival, present your documents to the immigration officer. They will issue your study permit. Understand your responsibilities. Once in Canada, you must maintain your student status, enroll and study, stay enrolled at your DLI, and make progress toward completing your program, work permits. If eligible, you can work on campus or off campus with certain restrictions. Extend or change permit. If you need more time to study, apply for an extension before your permit expires. Post-graduation options. Consider post-graduation options such as applying for a post-graduation work permit or PGWP to work in Canada after your studies. Additional tips. Apply early. Start your application process well before your intended start date to account for processing times. Be accurate. Ensure all information provided is accurate and complete to avoid delays. Seek help if needed. If you're unsure about any part of the process, consider consulting with an immigration consultant or lawyer. Following these steps carefully will help ensure a smooth application process for your Canada study visa.